One of the hardest decisions out there for young creatives is whether or not it's really worth it to invest in an education when it comes to their creative passion. There might be a lot of people in your life that will give you conflicting advice and opinions on what they think you should pursue, but the difficulty that comes with this is that most people learn and experience things differently from one another, and just because one person gets a lot of value out of a university doesn't mean that you'll see those same results. So how do you know if pursuing the path of self-teaching or a formal education as a creative is the right direction for your personality? I wanted to give you 3 pieces of advice that you should keep in mind when considering or researching whether or not you want to go to school, based on both my experiences as a self-taught motion designer and a university student who's received an education in graphic design. The number one thing I can tell you right now is that you should not pursue a design education at a university purely for the degree. A lot of you are probably aware by now that times have been changing, and the idea of a degree for creatives is making less and less of an impact when it comes to the hiring process. If you're not already motivated and, more importantly, willing to learn and expand your ideas with the new perspectives and critiques that your professors have to offer, you won't actually be taking advantage of what a design school is meant to provide for you. You get what you put into it, and I say that because people with closed-minded personalities or people who force themselves into school purely for the degree are usually the ones you hear from saying that they didn't learn anything from it or that they wasted their time. If you come into anything, even in your day-to-day life, with this type of mindset, you'll already be setting yourself up for failure. Number 2 on the list of things you should keep in mind is that a university is a resource. By choosing to go to school for design, you'll be investing money for a program that the staff has built and refined for years so that you don't have to go through and search for those resources on your own. You'll learn that design can be a lot more than just software knowledge, and a lot of it actually comes from your process, decisions, and the way you communicate yourself as a designer. I think that everything you learn at a design school are also things you can learn from home. The only difference is that when you decide to go through the route of self-teaching, you need to find ways to learn and practice these things by yourself, whether it's design theory and principles, networking, or even the ability to effectively communicate your decisions as a designer. These are skills that require a lot of focus, patience, and time to build without any guidance. Lastly, for number 3 on my list is that the benefit of university for inexperienced designers is that there's very little consequence for the mistakes you make in your classes. You won't be working with any real clients. The things you create aren't actual projects with thousands or even millions of dollars in budget, and you won't be forming any negative relationships through the errors you make that may affect your career in the future. The most useful thing I received through my education in design wasn't the technical skills and the fundamentals, it was actually the confidence I had gained over time, which I carried with me into my career. And in my eyes, that's what made the investment worth it for me. So to summarize, a university isn't just a tool for you to learn all the bells and whistles of your favorite Adobe software, it's a way for you to really gain an understanding of who you are, what you do, and why you do it. If you're a person that enjoys the idea of being mentored by experienced designers and have a hard time staying disciplined, or maybe you find yourself procrastinating often throughout the day, a university might be the right path to spark your motivation and get you moving in the right direction. But if you're extremely disciplined and you enjoy learning through real-world experiences head-on, despite any failures and obstacles that are bound to come with it, then maybe self-teaching is the practice that you're most comfortable with. If you're watching this video, then you're likely already putting in more effort into this decision than most people. Just be sure that by the end of things, you're making a decision that ultimately fits you and your personality. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment here or find me on Twitter at Nowack Design. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.